can't help but walk into this place and immediately your gaze looks up at all of these beautiful, beautiful windows. The colors just sparkle in the sunlight and beams down on all the congregation members.
Pristine Glass was started a little over 32 years ago. At present, we're a restoration company, and we also design and build new windows. Fountain Street Church represented our first major large-sized restoration. It was an interesting process. The church had only received enough money to do, I think, the first 4 windows. And once we got the first group of 2 windows completed and back in, the contrast of the old windows against the new windows was such an overwhelming impact on the church that within 2 to 3 weeks the entire project was funded.
Some of those windows had deteriorated so much, they looked like laundry flapping on a line. The leading had weakened and they were sagging.
This back window had a bulge in the stonework.
The design of the main nave windows, which would be the windows on the east and west side of the church, were done by a firm known as Paris & Wiley. They were located in New York City. The one window in the north elevation, which is the rosette window, was done by a gentleman by the name of Bacon, and he was located in London, England. One side of the church is biblical, and the other side is non-biblical, and the non-biblical side really is probably the most interesting because it has everything from Socrates and knowledge to a small segment on wood carvers and furniture working, which back then was a large part of the community of Grand Rapids. So I think that's really what makes these windows unique.
To me, the stained glass is what makes it a sacred place, and I think that's true for most people that attend here.
I'm really grateful that we have such beautiful windows that enhance our worship service. For me, at least, they are as important as the music and the sermon.
This is such a majestic sanctuary, and the windows are what lends the awe and the beauty to this room. And we kept going from church to church to church, and my husband kept saying, "Can't we find a church?" I said, "They have to have beautiful stained glass windows or else I just don't feel like I'm in church."
Is that we believe in all of the artistic work that we have here, that there is great truth to be found in all of the world's religions, and that if you come here, we will surround you by these symbols and encourage you to craft your own religious journey. And these complex windows, which you can stare at for hours, are part of the aid to doing that. And I find, like Margaret, they're just as important to me as the sermon that's spoken in words. But in this case, it's spoken in light.
I can't tell you how important it seems to me, at least, that they are a part of our worship service, that it adds to the spirituality of the service.
So we really believe that it's had a tremendously positive influence on the community.
I've seen people standing on the sidewalk who are obviously strangers to the city, just look up and you start a conversation. Well, we're visiting in the city. How come this church is here? And then you almost want to do a street tour.
And for those of us who worship here, it is, I think, a great privilege to have inherited it, and then our privilege to maintain it for the next generation.
True.
The restoration side of it is we're saving and caring for the historical windows for future generations. Pretty big thing. And on the other side, hopefully we're creating a new history.